Hello, welcome back to a chapter a day. Happy Sabbath. Here we go again, end of another week, and I pray that you had a blessed week and that you received from God everything that you asked for in His name. And I mean, on my side, it has been a good week, even though it's been a wintry, weathery kind of time for the whole week. We had some snow and ice fall earlier in the week. Kind of back to the last weekend, stayed on the ground. Temperatures came, didn't really help much. Sun came out, bless the Lord. That sunshine does something to just my spirit, and it helped some, but still had to get out there and do some shoveling, get the ice off of the driveway, and you know, it still has some there, and the cold is still here with us, but that's how God designed it, and I will not complain. I just have to work with it. Okay, so I pray that today you take a time to rest. I was out shoveling snow 2 days this week. Today is Sabbath. I'm just going to relax, take it easy, enjoy the warmth of inside. Bless the Lord for it. And it's nice outside still. You know, it's bright. Not full sunshine, but it's nice enough that you can get out and do some, maybe stand outside for 5 minutes, then head back in. But people are making it work. And that's just how God made us, with that resiliency. Okay, so today I think I'm going to read 2 chapters of Proverbs. I think I will. 17 and 18. So let's get started. Better is a dry morsel and quietness therewith than an house full of sacrifices with strife. I can contest to that. A wise servant shall have rule over a son that causeth shame, and shall have part of the inheritance among the brethren. The fining pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold, but the Lord trieth the hearts. I just feel like I have read this before. It just sounds so familiar. I pray I haven't, but I'm going to continue. Verse 4. A wicked doer giveth heed to false lips, and a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue. You remember I was saying in last psalm that I read, don't listen to people who like to buzz around your ears with information. Verse 5. Whoso mocketh the poor reproacheth his maker, and he that is glad at calamity shall not be unpunished. That means when you see bad things happening to people, don't rejoice. Even if you don't like them, they're your enemies. It's not nice, and we know we don't want that happening to us. They said you should not do that, and we should really and truly, if we have a Christ-like heart, we won't want to see other people fall into bad ways. Verse 6. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children are their fathers. You hear that? Fathers? Excellent speech becometh not a fool, much less do lying lips a prince. A gift is as a precious stone in the eyes of him that hath it. Whithersoever it turneth, it prospereth. Bless the Lord. He that covereth a transgression seeketh love, but he that repeateth a matter separate good friends. And sometimes, you know what, the things that we have seen or heard or experienced really does not need repeating. We don't even need to share it. Maybe we can mention we had some terrible things happen, but sometimes I hear people go into detail about their lives, and it does nothing but just depress my spirit and just stir up not good feelings in me, and I don't like to hear it. And I have stopped listening to a lot of really bad testimonies from people who went from rags to rich, not rags to riches, spiritually I mean, but sometimes the details are just too much, and I think it could be left off. And us too, repeating things that we hear or have experienced, we don't need to do that. We really don't. Verse 10. A reproof entereth more into a wise man than 100 stripes into a fool. An evil man seeketh only rebellion. Therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. Let a bear robbed of her whelps meet a man, rather than a fool in his folly. Oh my gosh, it's better than you meet a protective mother bear than you come into contact with a fool. Have mercy. Verse 13. Whoso rewardeth evil for good, evil shall not depart from his house. The beginning of strife is as when one letteth out water, Therefore, leave off contention before it be meddled with. And I will say this, I, because I have seen many times people stir up quarrels and confusions. And once it starts, it's like a snowball. They say here it's like water that you just let out of a container. It does not stop. You can't stop the water from falling once you turn over the container. That's what we do. Better to mend it quickly than let it get out of hand. Then let it start. Because once it starts, it's out of hand. Okay. Verse 15. He that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abomination to the Lord. I hope some people, especially the justice system, can hear this, because there's a lot of perversion in the justice system. Verse 16. Wherefore is there a price in the hand of a fool to get wisdom, seeing he hath no heart to it? A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. A man void of understanding, striking hands and becoming surety in the presence of his friend. Striketh hands. Yeah, that means if you're not wise, you're going to be a co-signer for some. And I know the Proverbs have been saying this. It says don't do that. Don't sign for someone else's loan. And I know some of us say, well, it's family, well, it's close friends. Don't do it. Okay, verse 19. He loveth transgression that loveth strife, and he that exalteth his gate seeketh destruction. He that hath a froward heart findeth no good, and he that hath a perverse tongue falleth into mischief. He that begetteth a fool doeth it to his sorrow, and the father of a fool hath no joy. Have mercy. And you know what the Bible's definition of a fool is? One that denies there is a God. Verse 22. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones. I know that. A wicked man taketh a gift out of the bosom to pervert the ways of judgment. And we have heard people paying off people who are in law, leaders of law departments to pervert justice in their favor. We've heard of that. Verse 23, a wicked man, 24. Wisdom is before him that hath understanding, but the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. A foolish son is a grief to his father, and bitterness to her that bare him. Also to punish the just is not good, nor to strike princes for equity. He that hath knowledge spareth his words, and a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit. That means they say a fool is known by the multitude of his words. That means the opposite. A man with knowledge, you don't say too much. You keep quiet. Verse 28. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise, and he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. I tell you, words of wisdom that we can live by. Nothing here said is anything that we don't already understand, have experienced, and know for ourselves. Okay, I'm going to go right into chapter 18. Through desire, a man, having separated himself, seeketh and intermeddleth with all wisdom. A fool hath no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself. When the wicked cometh, then cometh also contempt, and with ignominy reproach. The words of a man's mouth are as deep waters, and the wellspring of wisdom as a flowing brook. They said, by your words you shall be justified, and by your words you shall be condemned. We need to watch our words. Verse 5, it is not good to accept the person of the wicked, to overthrow the righteous in judgment. Remember what they did to Jesus. Went and found all kinds of false accusers to come and say lies about him. Verse 6, a fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. Mercy. He also that is slothful in his work is brother to him that is a great waster. When you have a job, don't waste time on it. Do the job that you're supposed to do, that you're paid to do. God is watching. Verse 10, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. The rich man's wealth is his strong city. I've read this before. And as high wall in his own conceit. That means the rich people who are rich or the wealthy put their faith in things, in whatever it is they have. That's my interpretation. Verse 12. Before destruction, the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility. He that answereth a matter before he heareth it, it is folly and shame unto him. The spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, but a wounded spirit who can bear? And I tell you, that's where Satan tries to get us, to break our spirits. If he can get it by people saying things to us or treating us in certain ways, he will do it. Beware. Don't guard the portals of your mind and your heart. Your heart, I always say, is your mind. Okay, be careful of what we believe. Believe you are a child of God and you are priceless. You don't have a worth. You are priceless because God himself came to earth to save you. That means you are without price. Nobody can put a price on you and make you feel like you are worthless. Don't do it. Okay, verse 13. He that, let's see, where did I get to? All right. I kind of went off there. All right, the spirit. Okay, verse 15. The heart of the prudent getteth knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh knowledge. A man's gift maketh room for him, and bringeth him before great men. He that is first in his own cause seemeth just, but his neighbor cometh and searcheth him. The lot causeth contentions to cease, and parteth between the mighty. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and their contentions are like the bars of a castle. That means if you dishonor someone by something you say, that person may never forgive you or forget what you've done. And even if they have forgiven you, you will never have the same relationship with that person again. Verse 20. A man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor of the Lord. The poor useth entreaties, but the rich answereth roughly. A man that hath friends must show himself friendly, and there is a brother that sticketh closer. There is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. And that's the end of our readings for today. Thank you all for listening. I pray you continue to enjoy your weekend. And remember, rest, rest, rest. God commanded us to do so today. Until our next reading, remember, faith comes when we hear God's word. Take care. Bye.